Okay, here we are, week 8. This is video 2. Subject or topic is probability. So I would like you to turn to page 273 of your Math Makes Sense 5 textbook. And we're going to look at the Connect. And this is just filling out, giving more practice at the words that we've looked at so far. Previous page talks about how some events are impossible, like finding a flower that talks. Some events are certain, for example, that July will always follow June. And other things that are possible, like that one of you could grow up to become Prime Minister of Canada. Okay, so Connect. This is an example of really delving into what probability has, that the probability of an event is a measure of how likely an event is to happen. So this is exploring that concept. So you'd like to use your imagination here, if you will. If an event is likely to occur, it is probable. We said that those two words were synonyms. If an event is unlikely to happen, it is improbable. And those two words are synonyms as well. So let us imagine that Luis has these coins in his pocket. He has 9 pennies, he has 2 nickels, and he has 2 dimes. One coin falls out. How likely that coin is A, that's a quarter, A dime, A nickel, A penny, or 1 cent. Well, so it would be, first of all, impossible for the coin to be a quarter because Luis doesn't have any quarters. So something couldn't fall out of his pocket that wasn't in there in the first place. That would be impossible. It is likely to be a penny because most of the coins in Luis's pocket are pennies. 9 of them, in fact, out of a total of 13. So it's most likely to be that. It is unlikely that the coin that fell out would either be a dime or a nickel because Luis only has 2 of each of those coins. And it notes that it is equally likely to be a dime or a nickel because he has the same amount, same number of those coins, 2 each. 9 pennies, 2 nickels, 2 dimes. So here again is our spectrum. And the spectrum shows where impossible, impossible, and certain, and these events would fall on that spectrum. Excuse me. Okay, so let's turn the page now. You are going to be responsible for the odd numbers items. I'm now going to go through the even numbered items. So we can start with number 2. So number 2 says describe each event. And it specifically wants you to use the 4 words, and these are all words obviously from our keywords list, to describe each event. So, A, someone in your class will win a raffle. Raffles by their very nature are an exercise in chance. It depends, of course, how many tickets are sold. But generally speaking, you are unlikely to win a raffle. You are surprised when it happens. So the answer there would be unlikely. Unlikely to win a raffle, particularly if the whole school, we have raffles here all the time. If the whole school is buying tickets, that makes it even less unlikely that you will win. All right, B, someone in your class is 10 years old. Well, that's certain. Most of you are 10 years old. Some of you, by now, some of you may have turned 11, but there were certainly still a number of you who would be 10. So if you picked a random person out of the class, chances are she would be 10 years old. It will rain tomorrow. Now, I have an advantage here because I already looked at the weather report, and it is very likely to rain tomorrow. It is very likely indeed. The weather is not always 100%. They can make mistakes. Weather patterns can change, wind patterns can change. So we can't really say that it's certain. And of course, it would depend where you were as well. But it is very likely. And last but not least, that was D. You will attend the Carnival de Quebec next February. Well, I'd actually never heard of the Carnival de Quebec. And I'm going to be very busy. If the you here is me, I'm going to be busy teaching school in February. So it is not I doubt if I'll be going to that. But it isn't impossible. It isn't impossible. Somebody could give me a ticket, and it could be a weekend event, and I could be flying off to it. So, however impossible it may seem to me at the moment, it is actually unlikely. It is not impossible. And E, you will have math homework next Wednesday. Now here is where I can say with absolute certainty and positivity that you will definitely, all of you, have math homework next Wednesday. So that's number 2. All right. Let's move now to number 4. For number 4, they ask that you roll a number cube, or a dice as they sometimes called, a die, until you get a 3. Keep a tally of how many rolls it takes, and then say which word describes how likely it is that a 3 will come up upon the next roll. Certain, possible, or impossible. And explain. Okay, so I've got 4 trials out here, and I'm just going to go ahead and roll. Okay, so there we go. So it was two trials before I got a 3 on that one. Okay, let's see how lucky I am again. 6, so not a 3. 1, not a 3. 2, again, not a 3. Another 6. 4, 2, 6. 6 again. Another 2. Another 2. Gonna run out of space here. 1. Finally. So this took 5, 10, 11, 12. 12 rolls before I got a 3. Okay, we'll go again, and that's a 1. 5, 1. Here we go. 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Took me 4 rolls that time to get a 3. And look at that. 0, 1, 1. So I kept the tally of how many rolls it took. I did it 4 times. The first time I took 2 rolls, second time 12 rolls, third time 4 rolls, and next time I got it on the 1. So, which word describes how likely it is that a 3 will come up on the next roll? Certain? Well, no. We can definitely see that it is not certain. Sometimes it takes a long time. Impossible? No. Actually, it is possible. I did it once. So it's not impossible. I would say that the word then is possible, isn't it? It is possible. So this is for A here, and the answer is for B. And my explanation is because on 4 trials, I rolled a 3 on the first attempt. In other words, I rolled a 3 here, on the 4th one here, and the very next time I rolled a 3, so that's what it is possible that the next roll between this one and this one would be a 3. Okay, so that's the answer, and that's the explanation of the answer. Okay, so now number 6. And for number 6, we need to draw a bag of marbles for which, and then there are a bunch of conditions. So, I'll come over the other side here, and I will draw my bag as a... Here's my bag. I put a little drawstring on it so I can do it up later. My marbles don't get all over the place. I don't lose my marbles. And it says that you're going to draw a bag of marbles for which the following conditions, okay? Picking a pink marble is a likely event. Picking a green marble is an unlikely event. Picking an orange marble is possible, and picking a black marble is impossible. And explain how you chose the marbles you drew. So here we go. I've got my 4 colors there. And for pink, it says in a likely event. So putting my hand in and pulling out a pink marble, I want to give the bag a good number of pink marbles. If I give them a good number, then the chance that picking one out will be a pink one will be higher, won't it? So it's likely if I have a lot of them. Unlikely, green. If I had 1 marble in there, it could happen, but if I only had 1, that makes it unlikely that the green one would be the one, given all the pink ones that are already there. It's unlikely that that will be the one I pick out. Possible. That just makes it unlikely. A couple more make it possible. So there you go. There's still a much higher chance of picking out a pink, because there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 pinks. There's only 4 orange, but it's definitely possible. And last but not least, to make it impossible for me to pick out a black marble, I don't put one in there. If I don't put one in there, I can't take it out. So there you go. All right. So that is numbers 2, 4, and 6 on pages 274 and 275. I invite you to now do numbers 1, 3, 5, and 7. And I also invite you to do Unit 7, Lesson 4, page 110 and 111. Those ones there. GoPro, stop recording.